Today I fucked up by causing abrupt chaos on a Zoom meeting. Background. I've been sick for a week or so with a wicked cough. I also have asthma, so it's rough. I'm going to the doctor later today, but in the meantime had to attend a Zoom meeting this morning. I was in this Zoom meeting with about 15 other people when I unmuted to ask a question. I leaned back in my chair to really give off the beard-stroking academic vibe, and I heard a crack as some piece in my old as fuck IKEA desk chair exploded and the chair back went all the way backwards. And so did I. Both of my cats, situated nicely under the computer monitors on my desk, did what cats do when there's an unexpected noise and completely lost their noodles. In classic kitty form, they destroyed everything in their path, knocking my mug off the desk and onto the floor, shattering it. Meanwhile, I lay on the floor on my back having a huge coughing fit. I untangled myself from my chair and headphone wires and got up to go grab my inhaler. In the process, I stepped on some pieces from the shattered mug with my bare feet. I let out another round of cough-laden expletives as I walked away. A few minutes later, I had my shit sorted out and came back to my desk, and keeping with the theme of pandemic-related today I fucked up posts, I realized I had been unmuted the whole time and with my video on. Apparently my colleagues had just spent that time conjecturing on whether I had left my earthly body behind or what. -5 points professionalism for me, plus 10 points hilarity. Too long did not read. Unmuted on Zoom, chaos ensued. Edit. Removed cat tax so my fuzzballs don't dox me. I am sorry op, but I hope your colleagues recorded that because I would watch it on repeat. I leaned back in my chair to really give off the beard-stroking academic vibe. When flexing via Zoom goes wrong. Man, I haven't actually laughed out loud at a today I fucked up in a long time, thank you op. Ha 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 ha. This is one of the better TIFUs I've read in a while. Hopefully you're okay. And maybe it's time to invest in a proper workchair and let the IKEA chairs handle the more casual seating arrangements? I can't stop laughing. Best today I fucked up I've seen in a while. This shit sounds like it would have been absolute gold to witness, and I am now sadder for having missed it. I hope your job records their Zoom meetings because my lord. Today I fucked up buying a 23andMe kit assuming my history is boring. Update. Link to original post. So it's been 2.5 years since this shocking, although very much makes sense, discovery. We have now found a total of 4 half-sisters and 2 half-brothers, all on our dad's side. Still no progress on finding out who it is as the closest relative other than the IVF siblings as a 3rd or 4th cousin. It's fine. I mean, who really cares about knowing things like your medical history and literal parent? Woman shrugging, medium light skin tone. Anywho, we had even less of a connection with our biological mom, who was also an egg donor. I mean zero, zilch, nada. We were admittedly expectant every time a new relative would pop up, but the vast majority were from dad. As time passed, we pretty much gave up looking. However, after watching Our Father on Netflix last night, no, that's not our dad, I decided to once again check good old 23andMe. And voila! First cousin. Mom's side. I attempted to send a message on the app, but ain't nobody got time for that. I decided to utilize my investigative skills, aka social media, to see what clues I could uncover. Thankfully, said first cousin put his mom's maiden name. One Facebook search and I found his mom, which led me to her sister's profiles. The second I saw the picture of all of them, I internally, okay, and externally, said bingo. No way we aren't related. And if they tried to tell me otherwise, I was going to offer to personally send a DNA test to prove it. No DNA test needed though, as I received a response in less than 24 hours that confirmed my suspicions and filled my heart with joy. She wanted to find us too. Not only that, we also have 6 more half-siblings and a sports team's worth of nieces and nephews. We all live close to each other and are planning a get-together. I know not all of these stories have a happy ending, so it's fun to share when they do. Too long did not read. Bought DNA test and found out my parents weren't my parents. Ended up finding new family that at least for now don't seem to be serial killers. So I guess T.I. didn't actually, foo slightly smiling face. Have you also done Ancestry.com? They could provide connections unavailable through 23andMe. E.g. you might be related to my wife, but 23andMe would never tell you that. She's only done Ancestry. This is a great update, but my mom has had a migraine throwing up the past 2 days since discussing this, but I assumed it was a coincidence. Now I'm thinking nerves. I want to know how this went. Why was she so scared of you finding out? Thanks for the update. This story had such a nice and heartwarming finish. Happy this didn't turn into an Our Father story. I have bets with my partner that Dr. Klein has at least 500 kids. Her bet is that at least 3 sets of siblings from him have had children together. I am so happy yours is not the same. Happy this turned into a good thing for you, but not much of a fuck up, still +1. True story. One of these tests caused my wife to discover her father was not her father and that her mother had cheated and lied, and she thought was her father died when she was 11, so she grew up thinking that her dad was dead, and once we found out that it was another person she reached out to him and like she became an entirely different person. Literally she got totally mind fucked by all of this. Be ready if you do this shit, it can get wild. Today I fucked up by explaining my hygiene routine to my wife, who has a delicate constitution. Too long did not read. I revealed to my wife I use shampoo on my ass because it's so hairy and she laughed herself sick. Less than. Just happened right now. I'll start by saying I'm more hairy than your average guy. I don't have much of an image problem about it, but I do care for my wife's opinions about it from time to time. She's grown used to finding hairs around the house, bed sheets, shower, etc., and will occasionally joke about it. A few days ago she made a quip about it. I don't remember exactly what was said, but I do remember it being about how hairy my backside is. We both had a good laugh about it and moved on. Fast forward to today and it came up again. This time it was about how she wore one of my white shirts, and after laying on my side of the bed she woke up looking like a human lint roller. We started chuckling and I stopped and said, "Don't laugh. I had to really think about that backside joke you made as I was showering. Why is that?" She asked. "Well, I guess you don't know this, but I have to wash a certain way to try to reduce my shedding." "What do you mean?" "Well, for a few years now I've been washing my ass with Head and Shoulders, PFFFSSHBUAHHAHAHAHAHA. Gurgle. OHSHIT, and she runs for the bathroom." She was laughing so hard she made herself puke. It's been 15 minutes, she's telling me her stomach feels better, but now her abs hurt from laughing so hard. Ass and shoulders. As a woman, I cannot tell you how much I truly appreciate the care and thought you put into your hygiene routine. So many men just don't. Also, I love chest hair, so cheers to the hairy men out there. She was laughing so hard she made herself puke. Life goals accomplished. Making a spouse laugh. The ideal situation really. Not too much foo about that. But I did have a chuckle. As a fellow ass hair washer, I use conditioner. Shampoo in general is too strong for my ass. Conditioner makes ass hair smoother and silky. Props to you, fellow ass washer. Honestly, the too long did not read. Made my day. Too bad it ended in puking. BTW, I admit that I use a hairdryer to dry my body. Today I fucked up by showing my 10-year-old students a picture of a penis. Obligatory throwaway account. This happened some time ago, details changed, etc. etc. So, I teach 5th grade. One day we were doing something where the students were marking up a sample essay, using colors to highlight the topic sentences, the hooks, etc. etc. I was walking them through it on the smartboard, big projected screen at the front of the room. So, I say, I marked this in blue. I marked this in yellow. I marked this in pink. Up go the hands. Mr. H, that isn't pink. I frown and look at the screen. Really? I say. What is it? Purple. They all say. I nod. Well, actually, I am very colorblind, so I couldn't tell. They all look at each other, like, is this guy for real? No, for real. There are many males who are. Do you guys know about color blindness? They don't, so I take a minute for an impromptu lesson. Rods, cones, colors. All of that good stuff. Then I ask, have you guys ever seen those tests, where they show you a bunch of circles full of colored dots, and you have to identify the numbers in them? They nod. Well, that's a colorblind test. And I am terrible at them. Of course they all insist we have to try some. So I Google, color blind test, and go to images, and start to scroll through a bunch. Do you guys see something here? I don't. How about in this one? Really, a 2? I can't see it. Nope, nothing in this one either. We get a bunch of rows down on Google Images, and suddenly there is this great rush of air, as the whole class takes one giant gasp. I look at them, and can immediately see that something is wrong. Their eyes are wide as dinner plates, faces are turning red, and they are staring at me. Crap. I figure there must be a Victoria's Secrets ad or something on the side of the screen or something, so I look back. Nothing. WTF? I look at the kids again. Now they are falling apart. Either red like a tomato or starting to laugh uncontrollably while trying to keep it in. What, is my fly unzipped? I look back at the screen again. Nothing. Uh-oh. I turn back to the class, to Eli who sits in the front row. Eli, is there something up here that shouldn't be here? Yes, he says, nodding, his eyes wide. Is it something that I can't see? Yes. Should I close the tab right away? Definitely yes. Click. Meanwhile, sweet little Alicia Powell is looking around, trying to figure out why half of the class is hiding their faces in the sweatshirts in embarrassment and half of the class is snorting laughter through their nostrils. What, you guys? It was just a finger? No, Alicia, says Brady. It was definitely not a finger. Oh, then WH. Ooh, squeals Alicia, and her poor Irish skin turns beet red. I ended up explaining to my principal, just in case anyone called. She laughed hysterically, but also said that, if any parents called, I'd have to explain. Nobody did. Here it is. I had to search by name, because I couldn't recognize it otherwise. Opening square bracket dot. TLR so yeah. I am a teacher who showed his kids a penis hidden in a color-blind test. Bravo, me. Are you going to show us the real picture or not? Come on man, don't tease me. That one just had a bunch of dots. I am so sorry, I'm laughing. But hey, at least it was an honest mistake. That is fantastic. My son is colorblind too and hates those tests, so he would have been confused with you. Oh thank God it was a colorblind dot test. I was worried this was a story about a camera roll. Well, Mr. H, that looks just like a giant, green. Willie Nelson. How the heck have you been? Say, what's that on the screen there? Looks like a Woody. How ya been, man? Here, have a toke. Wow, that's some. Etc. That is. Definitely not a finger. ROFL. I'm sorry. Also, Alicia is colorblind too?